Hello everybody and welcome back to the Mystery Sports Podcast. F1 is back underway this weekend. We've already had free practice 1 and 2 this morning. Now we're going to go through my predictions. We're going to go through one of the special guest predictions. We're going to play his voice note on my phone, and we're also going to go through what can we expect throughout the season and all these new regulation changes and what we'll see from every single team, and we'll go through where I think they will all finish in the standings and the drivers as well, respectively. So if we get it straight on the way, free practice 1 and 2 have both been driven and took part in now. So in free practice 1, you've got Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, who are P1 and P2, which is good making for them. Max Verstappen 3rd, Isaac Hadjar 4th, RB Limlad 5th, Oscar Piastri 6th, Russell 7th, Kimi Antonelli 8th, Gabriel and Bartoletti 9th, Nico Hulkenberg 10th, Ocon 11th, Science 12th, Liam Lawson 13th, Ollie Behrman 14th, Alex Albon 15th, Franco Colapinto 16th, Bottas 17th, Gasly 18th, Lando Norris 19th, 20 Perez, and Lance Stroll 21. So there's no Fernando Alonso in there. There was obviously struggles with Aston Martin, and that just moves us on straightly to Aston Martin and what's the problems they've been facing, especially with this new Sashi that they've built. Adrian Newey obviously not performing to what everyone expected. I think what's happening at Aston Martin, and one of my cousins isn't going to like what I'm going to say here, is that they've got like in football teams, they've got the best player in the world. They've stuck him in a team and it's not worked, unfortunately. I don't think Aston Martin will perform like mid-table. I think they will finish bottom of the Constructors' Championship, and I don't think Stroll and Alonso will do too well in the Drivers' Championship. So I'm going to predict them as 20th in the standings, and I think it's just going to be a huge disappointment for Aston Martin as a whole. Newey's not going to be happy. Lawrence Stroll, the owner, isn't going to be very happy, and I think that their performance in Barcelona shakedown and the Bahrain test hasn't been fantastic. So I think that's what's going to happen for them. In terms of obviously the other teams, so we'll go 19th. Now I think it will be Cadillac, who will not 19th, sorry. 10th, I think Cadillac, obviously a new team coming in. I think they will probably finish second bottom. I think they'll have some sort of a better season than Aston Martin. But this is early on, so anything can happen. Newey with his brilliance could turn Aston Martin around. But I do think from what we've seen, they're going to be bottom. But Cadillac would just like to perform better. I think, when you've got Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas as your two drivers, very, very experienced drivers there, multiple wins there, multiple podiums across both drivers. So I think that they're going to do pretty well. Then the next team I'm going to go with is Haas. It's a bit harsh on them. Ocon and Behrman. I think Behrman will have a good season. Haas are a bit of an up and down team. I'm not too sure what will happen with them. Then we've got Audi, so I'm going to go with Audi to be 8th in the championship. I don't think they'll do too well as a new team, replacing Sauber, Nico Hulkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto as the two drivers there. Anything can happen there, really, though. They could be a dark horse, but my dark horse is going to be Alpine, and I think they'll be the best of the rest. In terms of, obviously, Haas are in 8th. And then 7th, I'm going to go with Williams. I think Williams are going to do good this year. I think, actually, no, I'm going to change that to RB, sorry. I think RB will finish 7th. I think Liam Lawson and, obviously, RB and Limlad, the new rookie, the only rookie on the grid this year. I think they'll do well. I think 7th is a good finish for RB. Then I'm going to go with Williams in 6th. I think Williams are going to be very good and competitive this year. Maybe get a few more podiums with the likes of Science as their driver there. My dark horse, as I mentioned then, is Alpine. I think Alpine are going to finish 5th. They look very good. Franco Colapinto and what's his name, Pierre Gasly looked very good in the shakedown at Barcelona and in the Bahrain test. So I think they're going to finish 5th. Then it comes into the top 4, the big lot, and this is where it gets very interesting now. McLaren obviously winning a double championship last year with Norris and obviously the constructors. Verstappen and Red Bull, new driver in Hadjar, that Red Bull. Will Verstappen carry on? Will they work well with their new engine? It looks like they have done okay with their new engine. And obviously Ford as their new engines, like kind of helper, developer. Ferrari look to have a good car. The new turbo system, all the new regs now, Ferrari look to do well. Can they give Lewis Hamilton a car to win his 8th championship? Hopefully he can. And Mercedes as well. Mercedes look very good. Everyone's favourites really, or the bookies' favourites, Mercedes to go and win the F1 championship. And does Russell have a chance to win his championship? I think he might do. So in 4th position, I'm going to go Red Bull. I think Red Bull aren't going to have a fantastic season. They'll get a couple of race wins with Verstappen. We know how good they are and how good Verstappen is. More importantly, I think they're going to finish 4th. Then I'm going to go the reigning champions, McLaren, to finish 3rd. I think McLaren, they look okay, but with this new engine, well, the Mercedes engine and how Mercedes have developed their engine so drastically, I think McLaren will finish 3rd. I'm going to go Ferrari 2nd and then Mercedes to win the Constructors' Championship. I think Mercedes look to have a strong car. They're the bookies' favourites. I've liked how they performed in Bahrain and also in the shakedown test in Barcelona. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go Mercedes as my Constructors' Championship winners. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, we'll go from the top. Well, we'll go for the top 5. I'm going to go George Russell to win his championship. Lewis Hamilton to finish 2nd in the championship. Norris to finish 3rd. Max Verstappen to finish 4th. And Piastri to finish... Charles Leclerc to finish 5th and Piastri to finish 6th. I think George Russell will get his championship with the car that he's got. And Mercedes just look very good. Anything can turn, all the teams will bring new upgrades to the car. And, as we've seen with McLaren in previous years, they might have a rubbish car at the start, but a couple of upgrades can catch them up to the pack quickly. And then now we're just going to go on to one of my uncle's predictions. He's a huge F1 fan, and we'll have a listen now.
The new F1 season is just round the corner. Here are my predictions for what's going to happen. Mercedes have got a new car that looks good. Good engine, good aerodynamics. Could George finally have the car that he moved there for? Ferrari had their worst season ever. Well, Lewis had his worst season ever last year. But looking good this year with a new aerodynamic rear wing. Hopefully he's got a car that can give him a chance to prove why he's the GOAT. Red Bull are not looking good with a lot of changes over the last 2 years. But with Max, anything is possible. Let's see what happens. McLaren, not looking as good as last year. Could last season be the last win they had for a long time? And the dark horses for the season are Audi. Big name, big budget. And they want to compete with Mercedes, not only on the road, but on the F1 track as well.
So with that prediction there, I think that, I completely agree with a lot of what he's saying. I agree that Mercedes have a good car. The aerodynamics of the wing, the disc, the spinning rear wing, that could be a huge play for Ferrari, and their rocket ship-like starts, that could make anything happen for Ferrari. Audi, I'm not a huge advocate for them. I don't think they'll do too well, but from what his predictions are, it could potentially be something special. And for Audi, what a season they could have if it all clicks together. Verstappen and Red Bull, I kind of agree. I don't think they're going to be too good. I think they're going to be good, but not like championship winning level. And same with McLaren. I just don't see them being the top dog in this season. But like I said at the start, anything can happen. This is Formula 1. It gets underway early mornings. Set your alarm clock. 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock in the morning, actually, Saturday qualifying takes place. And then 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And very, very early start. for the Grand Prix, the first Grand Prix of the weekend of the calendar. Hopefully we can see. For me, as a Mercedes fan, I want to see Mercedes do well. As a Lewis supporter, I hope he wins his championship. He needs that 8th championship. But hopefully it's another entertaining season in terms of Formula 1. And yeah, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, share to all your family and friends, and catch you on in a bit.